Good morning. Thanks for joining me today, folks. This is our monthly tips and tricks webinar for Salesforce.com at the Marks Group. As many of you know, we do these tips and tricks videos about 4 weeks after we post new tips. We post new tips every month, towards the end of the month, beginning to early, or I guess early next. We do 3 tips. We try. Sometimes we'll do 2, and one of those is a real toughie. But basically, we're doing about 20 minutes to 30 minutes of tips every month. And then 3 or 4 weeks later, the last week of the month, what we'll do is do a live webinar to go through those tips. My name is Corey Babka. I'm one of the Salesforce people here at the Marks Group. I also do a lot of the operations, manage the other CRM systems. But glad to have you with me today. Let me just start out first. Is there any questions, any comments to today? Just reach out to me directly. My email address is Corey, C-O-R-E-Y, at marksgroup.net, marksgroup.net. You can get me that way. Any questions, so on and so forth. Today, what we're going to be dealing with is drag and drop for emails and files into the system. We're also going to talk about the activity view, the Kanban versus split view, which is fairly new to Salesforce Summer, I believe. A lot of my recent tips, I've just been ripping into the release notes of what's new because I run out of ideas, truthfully. So I'm looking for a couple. If you've got any comments, any questions, anything you do want to know about, I can answer it, and then I try to make a tip out of it too. So for others to ask the same questions. But anyway, let's just jump right into it. So the first one that we want to do, and I'm not doing it in any particular order, I'm just going to do the drag and drop for the emails right now. If I do the email quick drag and drop, basically this is new to Summer 18 for Lightning Edition, okay? And it's just attachments on emails. So for instance, if I go to a lead record and I look at Max's lead, okay, here's his record right here, all this where he's at, what the status is, et cetera, okay? As we know, we can do a new task, we can do a new event, we can also do a new email. I actually like this one. It allows me to do a new email from here, which is great. You know, I've got another signature on here for another like sub company of mine. Just bear with me as you see that. But the let me change that out for you just so you can see it. If I do this here and I just say Corey at marksgroup.net. So you can see that signature, that's fine. That came in from my personal settings, of course. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this, and I'm going to go to, let me just sit here and say, I'm going to add a folder. I'm just going to go open up a Windows folder, making sure you can see this okay. Yeah, good. I just want to made the mistake of not recording my screen last month. So let's do this, and I just go to desktop. Actually, let's go to download, see if there's something stupid in here. Something small, nothing big. We do this here. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take this file, okay? And this is it's just a swimming scores sheet, whatever. And I can take this, and at the minute, see what happens when it does it? Like right away, all of a sudden I have this drop files ability. The minute I'm dragging a file onto Lightning, I just do this, let it go, and boom, there's my attachment. Okay, and you can see it, it's right down there. I can do it again, I can keep doing it, I can keep doing it, right? It's a very nice piece to get, you know, to just add new attachments. Granted, it works better if you have 2 monitors, or if you have this on one side of the screen like this, and I've got my downloads over here, I can keep doing this, and I say, yeah, you know, I also want to do this one and drag this in, attach that, and I'm going to also drag this in here, okay? And by doing that, I now have 3 attachments. If I want to get rid of them, just click it, gets rid of it, boom, done, all that, okay? So that's where we are. Now, while we're on here, let me just show you a couple other things, what these mean. When I'm doing the new email, this would be as a template, if I want to do that. This would be to preview the email before it actually gets sent, okay? And this would be just to trash it, right? If you want to pop it out, which I can do it, there's my email right there. You know, I don't want to do that necessarily, but I'll just put it back in. That's how to make it bigger. And again, if I want to change the attachment, there's our old attach file. I like the drag and drop. And then I go here. You can do my template, insert a template instead, and say all templates. and I don't have any yet classic ones, I could just do this and say insert, and there's my thing. So you could do that as well, right? Now you notice my attachments went away, right? And my attachments went away because the email, the insert template, includes attachments as part of that template. So it went around, it left me. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But anyway, that's what that is there. Like I said, short, sweet, real easy stuff. Okay, that's the easy tip, right? Let's go to the next one, drag and drop files. Okay, so we're gonna do this at the lead level because I believe when I did it in my demo, I was doing it at the account level. Basically what it is there's a file area that isn't always there. Like here, actually it is here. Shoot, I don't want to use this one. Files is here, okay? So therefore, if I drag down a little bit, I should see in my related, now where is my files? I'm not seeing it. So address, custom links, where's my related items? My related items aren't here. So that would be part of it. So let's not redo this one too much. What I did do over here in the accounts is I'm going to look for this one, okay? Now there are files, and if you go there, if I scroll down a little bit, you can see this is my main record. And if I go to my related, then I see there's my files. And see, that's what it is now. This is a new piece that allows you to drag and drop, upload files. But upload's easy. We all understand upload. But you can actually drag and drop the same way I just did that email if you have this one viewable. Now, this is an account record, so I already added this in there. On the contact record, let's go look at Carol. Now, I don't have it here. So if I go to related, I do have notes and attachments, which you can do it there. And see, it used to be that the attachment didn't allow it, right? So I'm going to see if I open up this window again. If I take this and say, where's my swim results? If I take this and drop it, does it add it in? And there it is, and it's done. Okay, now that's fine. So for notes and attachments, it never used to work like you had to do files instead. However, let's go ahead and just make sure that we get this there. Let's just do it on leads just for the heck of it to make sure it's there. Okay, we're going to follow through. Same thing that I did. Now, what I did say in my tips was you can do it if the files related list is there, but a lot of times it's not there. See, I've got notes and attachments right here. We can try to see if it's there, but you notice in this one I only have upload. I can't drag and drop, right? I'm going to expose the related list and see if we get there as well, because here's our files, which it should be, right? And we're going to go through the motions, all right? So what I'll do first is we have to edit the page to make sure that the files or notes attachments is visible, right? And so we're going to go to our gear. We're going to go to setup as usual, okay? Actually, I'm going to go back. We're going to go here to gear, and we're going to do edit the page. And now we're in the layout, okay? And you notice in our case here, we don't have the related list, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to add that in. And we're going to do related list and see if we can add it in here. Nah, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to add in a new tab. Add a tab that's called, I want to call this related. There it is. Done. Here's my tab. And I'm going to add in my related list. So I'm going to take this and throw it in there, and there's my related. So there's notes and attachments. There's my files to upload, things like that. So these are both here now, which is good, right? So that's fine, and we can save this. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you what would happen if it wasn't there. So for instance, my accounts, it was not there, right? And my notes and attachments was working, so I had to add files. I'm going to check that out again before we leave here, in the next couple of minutes, because I want to see how that works. But what I would do is I would go here to the lead layout if it wasn't there. I'd go to lead layout, which opens us up into the old school classic edition related list format. Now, some of you that are new to Lightning, you're looking at this going, I don't understand what this looks like, and why is this way? Well, this is the way folks that have been doing design in Salesforce for years, this is what we started with back in Classic Edition. Okay, so you've got all your fields that you can drag around. This is how you actually edit out that main area as well. My lead detail, my main detail records over here. like this detail. How do I get new fields in here? Well, it's the same thing. It's that lead layout. And I add and drop these fields. I've got some buttons. I've got custom links. I've also got related lists. So you can see what's gray. It's already on there. If it's not on there, you would just drag it and drop it into here. Now, by doing that before, what I did was my files was not here. So it was up here like this. And I sat there and said, well, I need to move files into here, drop it, and then I would save it, and then away we go. Okay. And by doing that, now we're in and it's all good. You save it. Okay. And then we go back and then we can go to this and we can go back and save it and we can go back and now we're back at the form essentially, right? So here's my lead form again, here's my related, and here's my different pieces. Now on the account form, let's look at my accounts. Because on my account form, I do have account notes and attachments. And I do have files. So if I go to my related, there's my files and there's my notes and attachments. So I could do it there as well. That I might be wrong, but I might be fairly new because I swear when I was doing this 4 months ago, my notes and attachments, I could not drag and drop. They might have changed that with the summer edition, but I just did the files here so you can see it, right? Couple of notes. Can't drag and drop when actually in the true related list, right? So for instance, if I'm in here, up there, and I do this and say I cannot drag and drop into there, I just can't do it, okay? So if I have the quick links, you also can't, if I do this and I click this, now I'm in the true related list, nope, can't drag and drop. Do it till I'm blue in the face, right? But I can't do it. So if I do this, take it, drag it, nope, nothing, doesn't know what the heck to do with it. Okay, so that's kind of frustrating. So it is almost better to have your main form set up to have the related list over here instead. Okay, once a file's on there, you can't see the drag files word anymore. Now this was frustrating to me, right? So if I take my file and I add in this one file, now it's there, right? But now what do I do? So if I want to add files, I can drag and drop again, I believe, or I can just upload, but can I do it still? Well, I'm going to grab this one, and I can't. So you can't see it, but it is there. And now I've got 2 attachments, right? Little PDFs. So that's the nice piece that it does. But once you do your first one, you lose the drag files, quote unquote, wording. So it's more of a training issue. You got to let people know that you can do that. If you want to delete a file, as you can see, I cannot do that from here, right? I cannot do anything. But if I click the view all, now I can go in here and say, you know what, this is a duplicate. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to delete the file. Okay, so you have to do the view all or go back to that related list like this way. And now I can do it from here. So there's certain things you can do on this one and certain things you can't. Certain things you can do on this one and obviously certain things we can't. So just some caveats to keep in mind. Okay. All right. So keeping going. All right, so if we do this here, just keep going here. Last one is the split view Kanban view for activities. Okay, so we're learning a lot more about Kanban now. I think my Wikipedia research tells me that it's like a Japanese word, relates back to just-in-time production, which was something that I know I talked about in my classes in college in the mid-90s that talked about the way that Japan was doing things and the way that they would do their project management and all that. Well, what we've got now is you're starting to adopt this view. So we've got in the opportunities we've talked about before, like I can say where my Kanban is, not my recently viewed, but if I go to all or my opportunities, right, and I do my Kanban view, you get a split of the different stages throughout. And I can sit there and move it almost like a whiteboard where I can say, you know, this guy here is actually, he's in the ID decision makers. It changes that, updates this. This one I'm going to take over here, it needs analysis. We go from there, right? So that's your Kanban view, right? Well, we can do the same thing in our activities or our tasks, right? I do prefer, honestly, like right now in the split, so I'm going to change it up. I don't want you to see this yet. Normally, you're looking at it like this, my recently viewed or my open tasks, right? here's all my open tasks. Now I can change this to say I want Kanban, and now I've got the different where are they, and I can sit there and say, oh, you know what? This one here is, these are high. This is a high, right? This one's high, and I can do that, right? And so that's my Kanban view. It allows me to do this one might be a low priority, and etc. You can do it however you want. I can also do it as my setup Kanban settings, where I can say summarize or priority. I can also do status, or I can do call type, right? And we do that inbound, outbound, right? I can do that. I can also change it and say, I want to do, let's do status. So that's where you got in progress, completed, waiting on someone else. And I can move this around and say, yeah, biz advisors is in progress. These are not started. This is in progress, right? And I can move them around so I can manage my day better. Now that's your typical Kanban view, right? Like I said, I do prefer that sometimes, but with the split view, which is a new one, I can go here and say split. Now what split view allows me to do is see my list down the left. Okay, we've got the table view here. I've got new tasks that I can do from my arrow. I can refresh it. I can sort by due date, which it's already done. But I can click on these and everything changes is what I need, right? We wrap up email, Crookenden follow-up, my bank follow-up, next items, Commonwealth. So there might be comments in here as well, right? Where do we go from here? I can sit here and say sharp, training. There's my email that's part of the comments, so I can see that. Gateway check-in. I can sit here and say, you know what, I'm going to add some comments and say follow up on past items. What's next? Right, and save that up. And so therefore, there are my comments. But I can go through this and actually like just kind of click and scroll through. I can't arrow up. I wish I could, but I can't do it. I still have got my checkbox to complete it, right? If I wanted to. Like if I go to Salesforce tips and I check that box, then it's done. Okay, I don't want to do that yet. More follow-ups. Check for piano. Okay, that one's done, right? But I'll move that next week. Send out weekly email. That one's done. Boom. Okay. So we do that there, and then that's saved up. So as that does it, it goes through my tasks, and you can see the dates. Okay, so we're doing it that way. That's fine, and then you can just see it all right in front of you. Right now, you also have the quick complete. Like I said, that's your checkbox. Going through my list of items on the tips is what we have. You can also edit them, right? So you've got your edit button here. Let me move this down a little bit. Sorry, it's the GoToWebinar piece. You know, you can sit here and say, I want to do a new task. I can edit the comments, which is right there. I can just put comments in instead of going down with what I did before. I can change the date, create a follow-up, right? I can edit it all from right here. So I've got, like I said, quick complete, which is fine. I've got the edit the comments, or the edit button, which is different, right? Edit comments just pops open that description down below. I've got change date, which I can easily do. Change a date, boom, done, right? Create a follow-up task, okay? Create this, boom, do it all that way, right? And set it up, due date. It will keep actually the same subject as well. So I could do create this. Let's just do, for instance, if I wanted to say follow-up here, click that, and then create follow-up task. So I completed it in one fell swoop, and now I've got my follow-up due date, right? I'm going to uncheck that. I don't want it to save, okay? I could also change priority in here, which you could do anyway, but it's kind of like pop-ups instead of going in with the pencil, right? Because my priority is right down here. I can do this the same thing, but then it's all in edit mode. So it depends on what you want to do. But I've got my change priority, change the status, where I can go here and say, you know what, this one is in progress or waiting on someone else, and save it up, right? And it's done, etc., etc. Okay, it's just an easier way to manage your activities, honestly. I mean, that's all we're looking for. Okay. Now, before I did mention the Kanban view. Okay, so my tip goes back to that as well, as I probably ran a little bit short. So we're going to go back and we're going to change this to my Kanban view too. Okay, And we only have, recently view does not work. You cannot do that in any of these views that we're talking about. But you go to Kanban, and then what I've got is I can move them along and say Biz Advisors is now completed or waiting or deferred, and I can take this back as well and move them around, okay? Easily organize your world. You know, I like to get away from this view now, right? Because now that I've gotten used to it, this to me sometimes is just too much I'm looking at, right? And I don't want to see this too much. I like to say status, in progress, who has it. You know, what you can do a few things in the Kanban view to actually get you to sort it. And like I said, that's in the Kanban settings. It allows you to change it. Now, on things like opportunities, I mean, we're going off the tips here. I mean, we're going a little bit off the rails, but I want to show you when I do it this way. The Kanban, again, can't do recently viewed. If I say my opportunities, right? I can do my opportunities here to, you know, if I sit there and say, I'm going to do this, and I can change closed one, that's fine. But when I do my, where's my view? Where's my settings? Come on. Closed, lost. Why is that up there? I want to see, where's my view change? All opportunities. Where's my Kanban setup? I'm getting this guy. I'm getting a weird, there it is. Whew. That was weird, wasn't it? So if I go to my opportunities and I do this again and I say, okay, I want to do my Kanban settings. Here, what am I summarizing? I say total project value, what's the stage? You know, what am I, sorry, bear with me a second. I'm getting someone texting me. But I can do my amount, I can do opportunity, I can do stage, I can do type, whatever it was, and I can change that to group by, and I can change the summary. Right here, we've got the group by stage, and here's the total dollars. So that's just kind of nice there. Okay, so the Kanban, I recommend it. I think it's a nicer way of managing. People love this because they can move it around. I cannot move it up and down. I wish I could, but I can't. I know there are certain systems like Trello, the project management, that allows you to do that because then it says I need to take care of these things in order. Unfortunately, it doesn't do it that way. You can, I think, sort by, let's see if there's a sort. List filters, no. See, I thought there was a way that you could sort it and you would make your own sort, your fake sort, but I can't. So that's what I'm looking at here is there a way? Right now it's doing it alphabetically by the account name, right? And that's kind of frustrating for me, right? You can do a new task from here though, which is nice. There's no activity for 30 days. Oh my God, I better get on that. And then so I can't really sort it though, right? I wish I could, but I can't. So some limitations, but you know, you get it. All right, so that is that's it for me. Like I said, any questions, any comments? Corey at marksgroup.net, Corey at marksgroup.net. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we will hopefully talk soon. Okay, thanks, folks. I'll see you next month. All right, bye-bye now.